Hi, dear students and my dear friends. I am Manik and I am once again welcoming you in my channel Literature Study at Home. As you know, we are going through the series of lecture on the classics of world literature. Till now, we have completed few and we have still plenty of world classics to be done. In our today's topic, we have a play and it is named The Wild Duck, and it is written by one of the finest writers of the era. He is a Norwegian playwright. His name is Henrik Ibsen. The play is written in 1884 and it was premiered in 1885. From the narrative point of view, it is one of Ibsen's most complex works. It is a 5-act play, including 2 differently related stories. One is about the business life of elder Igdal with his partner Hakun Werle, and the subsequent betrayal of Igdal by Werle, leading Igdal's captivity in prison. The second story is about the sad and pain-stricken life of Igdal and his family after his captivity. Ibsen, like his other plays, here in this play, wants to point out the then problematic social life and how an individual or a family of an individual is cut off from the mainstream of the society, and then how desperately they attempt to regain their long lost place, experiencing their pain and then moving such amount of unmovable stones like problems from their mundane life. Okay, this is clearly observable to the readers or the audience if they try to grasp the deeper level meaning of the title of the play. In the play, we will see a real wild duck in the attic of the Igdal apartment, along with other animals. The wild duck was a gift from Mr. Werle to the Igdal family. We see the term wild, the term wild signifying no familial bond with others or having no cultural root with the mainstream. Similarly, in the play, like the wild duck, we will notice how all the characters are seemed cut off from their own roots. Henrik Ibsen, while writing this play, was very much influenced by a Scandinavian poem. The poem was written by Johann Sebastian Welhaven. Johann, in his poem, had sought a duck which was living its life full of pains, sufferings, and wounds. One day, it was feeling exhausted, and then it jumped into the pond and got drowned. Here, in this poem, Johann shows how did the duck free himself from the everlasting pain, sacrificing its life. Similarly, in this present play, we will notice how all the characters are living in a relationship with prolonged frustration, falsity of life, and their pain. Their condition is very wisely put by Ibsen, showing similarity with the wild duck. While in Johann's poem, the duck is freed itself from its tragic life. But the characters in this play are not capable of it, except the young child, that is Hedvig Igdal. Let's talk about some key characters of the play. First character is Hjalmar, or you can say Gemler Igdal. He is one of the major characters of the play. After his father's captivity, he leaves his studies and opened a photographer's studio. Though he always speaks about uplifting his family and making it famous to all by holding back his economy and status. But actually, he is a false dreamer. He only dreams without implementing anything. Apart from it, he has very limited sense of self-esteem, self-belief, and self-respect. We will see all these throughout the play while going through the summarization of the text. Next character, Senior Igdal, or you can say Elder Igdal. He is the father of Hjalmar and former business partner of Mr. Swerly. He was betrayed severely in the business by placing himself in the jail, ruining his family's security and necessity. However, he is now released and staying at the attic of the apartment along with his son, daughter-in-law, and his granddaughter. Unlike others, he has the fascination to the wild duck which was staying with all other animals. Okay, he is mostly compared in this play as the wild duck of the title. Next character, Gina Ektal. She is the wife of Hjalmar and the mother of Hedvig. Before marriage, she was working as the housekeeper of Mr. Swerly's family. She is suspended to have an illegal relationship with his host, Mr. Swerly. Perhaps her daughter is also the outcome of relationship with him, though she has the hole in her character, but she is maintaining it by patching the holes with her devotion to the work she has been performing for the family. Next character is Hedvig Igdal. She is a very cute, innocent, decent girl of 14 years. Okay. At the beginning of the play, she is loved by his father very affectionately and passionately. But at the end, she has become the most disgusted one in the eyes of her father. But she remains as innocent as the wild ducks of the play. She sacrifices herself after being rejected from the parental love of his dearest father. She can't bear this very much real world. With so much dubiousness and falsity, the world is very much corrupted. Next characters, and it is Grigor Swerly. He is the son of Mr. Swerly. He separated himself from his father due to his dishonest and disloyal personality. He does not accept the unethical activities of his father and aimed to fulfill his mission of disclosing his father's naive personality. He discloses to his friend Hjalmar that how his father cheated him and his father, but we see a very mean kind of emotion too in him, and that is found while fulfilling his mission. He doesn't even care what will be the result of it, and we see how tragically it comes out at the end of the play. Next character is Mr. Swerly, or we can say Hakun Swerly. He is the father of Grigor and also the former business partner of elder Igdal. He is very tactical, and his personality is such that and always want to fulfill his aim, he can go at any extreme. He has no emotion to his near and dear ones or to his people living near him. He keeps on illegal relationship with women throughout the play. He is the one who wounded the wild duck of the play during his hunting, and he also wounded the metaphorical duck of the play, and that is elder Igdal, and also his family, and placed them almost in the condition of extinct. Not only with elder Igdal, he also ruined the life of his own son by wheeling his daughter with own wealth so that Hilmar can doubt his daughter as his daughter, and that will be disclosed in the summarization of the text. Next character is Dr. Relling. He is a true to heart person in the play we have found. He knows really well what is called humanity. He knows what to do and what not to do, and that's why he warns Grigor not to reveal the secret to his friend Hilmar. Next character is Bartha Sorby, another housekeeper of the Swerly family, and she is going to marry Mr. Swerly, that is his host. The next character and the last but not the least character is Pete Patterson. He is the servant of the Swerly family, but all these are the minor characters. Let's jump to the summarization of the text. The play is set around 1880s, okay, and it is in a wealthy Norwegian merchant's office. There is arranged a dinner party where among the guests Mr. Swerly's son Grigor and his school life friend Hilmar Igdal are present. They meet with each other after 15 years. Within that time, Hilmar completed his marriage. He has a 14-year daughter too, and he runs a photographer studio. Though he has been doing all these, he could not complete his education due to poor economic support. As we come to know that, due to the arising business problem with his father's business partner Mr. Swerly, his father was landed in prison. So, to pull up the family, he had to leave his education or studies. Hilmar is very fortunate to Mr. Swerly, who is his friend's father too, that he helped him to buy the necessary instruments for the photographer studio, and also marrying Gina pompously. Grigor becomes very much suspicious, as he can't believe his father, that he helps Hilmar. He smells something fussy, as he knows really well that if his father helped Hilmar in past, then there must be some hidden truth, hidden reality. Realizing the actual point, Grigor asks Hilmar, is Gina Hansen his wife or not? Hilmar admits that Gina is indeed his wife. Now Grigor gets the complete picture. Why did his father help Hilmar actually? And that is because he did it to hide his own dark reality, and that is to pass by his own guilt upon Hilmar. Okay, the guilt was the illegal sexual relationship between him and the housekeeper of the family, that Gina Hansman. Grigor becomes very much upset with his father. He determines to leave his father and oaths to give justice to to his friend. Okay, and it's a kind of a mission for him, and he sets out to disclose the truth to his friend Hilmar. It was not a very easy for Grigor to tell everything at certain moment. Okay, he started observing Igdal's family first. He first examines the attitudes and doings of Gina. She's really impressed. That person, that Grigor, is really impressed seeing how excellently Gina maintaining her family and the photographer's studio in spite of her tragic past life. He also notices elder Igdal, who is living a very stingy, cockroach-like living, with full of remorse and disgust after his imprisonment. He's spending his time lonely in the attic with all other animals in the house. Then he observes their youngest member of the family, Hedvig. She is very innocent and charming. She loves her father very dearly, but she is in front of a great catastrophe, as her eyes are losing the power of seeing. At the end, he finds how his friend Hilmar is living his life. He says Hilmar is living in dreaming. He talks about grand but does very little. All the activities of the photographer's studio are performed by Gina. He only hopes about their bright future, but never does do anything to accomplish it. After leaving his father's house, Grigor is now searching for a place of staying, and he finds one in the apartment of Igdal. Though Gina at the beginning shows her negligence, but at the end she too agrees to give the room to Grigor. Next morning, Mr. Swerly becomes very anxious about his son's not staying in his house. He thinks that his son may be plotting something fussy against him. Realizing his son's motive, he warns Grigor not to reveal that secret. And he warns that by doing this, in spite of helping his friend Hilmar, he might destroy him. Dr. Relling, one of the neighbors of that Hilmar, to suggest him not to disclose the truth. And Dr. Relling, with his philosophical farsightedness, tells that people do not love to hear the truth. And if he discloses the truth to Hilmar, not only Hilmar but also his whole family will be ruined by that. Next day, while walking with Hilmar, Grigor tells him all the truth. After returning home, Hilmar starts abusing his wife and warns her not to enter into the photographer's studio once again, and also not to run the family, because he will run by all the things by himself from now on, as he loses his faith upon that Gina, that his wife. He asks his wife whether she was Mr. Swerly's housekeeper or not. Gina admits that she was once a housekeeper in that house, that means in the house of Mr. Swerly. Gina also reveals that when Grigor's mother was alive, she was not disturbed by Mr. Swerly. But after her death, he became very much violent, and as a result, Gina became the prey of Mr. Swerly. However, Hilmar calms down a little bit. Dr. Relling actually, who was there while both Mr. and Mrs. Igdal are quarreling, He scorns Grigor for his untrustworthy behavior. He is very much enraged that, in spite of his warning, he revealed everything to Hilmar. Later, Bartha Sorby, one of the housekeeper of Mr. Swerly, comes there to bid goodbye to Gina, as she is going to marry Mr. Swerly. Bartha insists all of them to go to Mountain Valley, that is the office of the Mr. Swerly. Reaching the office of Mr. Swerly, they notice that Mr. Swerly too is going to lose his eyesight. He has willed a gift certificate of 100 kron every month for Hedwig. When Hilmar comes across both the news, he bursts into shock and gets stunned. He is now very much sure that Hedwig is no more her daughter. Her father is Mr. Swerly. He is not. And that's why his blindness, that is Mr. Swerly's blindness, is a hereditary one, which is also affecting Hedwig. He is further confirmed that Hedwig is Mr. Swerly's daughter, and he has willed a great amount of money every month for Hedwig. Hilmar, in his state of insanity, leaves his home, but he returns next day. His wife insists him so that he does not go out once again. He stayed, but his heart is so much filled with disgust for Hedwig that he doesn't even put a glance upon his daughter. Hedwig can't take such negligence of her father. She starts bemoaning and finds herself as a lost child. She thinks about pleasing her father so that his anger could be decreased. She knows really well the thing which her father mostly dislikes, and that is the wild duck, which was once a gift by the Mr. Swerly, which is now staying at the attic of the apartment. Grigor advises her to do one thing, that is to please him, and for that she can take the help of her grandfather. Hedwig pleads earnestly Elder Igdal, so that he can shoot the duck. But we know really well how much Igdal cared for the duck. Apart from all other animals, it is his favorite. Next day, Hilmar again starts showing his disgust to his daughter. He shouts he does not want to see her face again. Hilmar wishes she should escape his house. Hedwig can't bear these words and keeps herself captivated in the attic throughout the day. While Hilmar is showering all his angers to Grefers, a shooting sound is heard from the attic. Grigor seems joyous as he was thinking that Elder Igdal probably has killed the duck. But his misconception erases immediately when he sees Elder Igdal is coming from another direction after the shooting sound. When they reaches the attic, they see the motionless body of Hedwig. Grigor thinks that while shooting the duck, Hedwig accidentally killed herself. But to Dr. Rilling, he does not believe it. He knows really well that the innocent girl cannot bear the very reality, and that's why she escapes the world of such negligence and hatred by committing suicide like that of the wild duck has committed in the poem of Johann Sebastian Wilhelm. So that's all about the play. If you like this video, please comment and share. Thank you and have a great day. Take care.